What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Aaron Bevins, the Millennial Entrepreneur, and you already know what time it is, y'all. We are in day one officially of the Wholesaling Quick Start Challenge. I'm excited to review what we got going on. So, for those of you who are just hopping in today for the first time, a lot of you reached out to me today and you were asking a whole bunch of questions and you got caught up. I DM'd a whole bunch of you the script. We reviewed the script yesterday. So what we're gonna do is hop right in this bad boy because I want to honor you guys' time and I want to honor the spirit of this challenge, which is called the Quick Start Challenge, because in wholesaling, it's all about speed, baby. It's all about speed. So with that said, let's have a quick intro and then we're gonna recap and hop right in to the show. We got a special guest today as well. We're gonna make this thing happen. Let's get
Close it. Pick up the phone. Close it. Big gas grow. Close it. $1 million deal. Close it. Yeah. It's all on you. Close it. What you gonna do? Close it. I want the proof. Close it. $1 million deal. Close it. Hey.
All right, it's going all the way down. It's your boy, Aaron Bevins, and we are in the Wholesaling Quick Start Challenge. So what exactly is this? What in the world is the Wholesaling Quick Start Challenge, and what's all this hype about? So what I'm gonna do is really quick, I'm gonna share the screen, and let's break this thing down so that we can all get on the same page. Because I feel like we're gonna change a lot of people's lives in this challenge and with what we have going on in the community. And I'm really excited to be able to share it with everybody. All right, so this, guys, is the Wholesaling Quick Start Challenge. All right, let me make this a little bit bigger. One time on them. All right, so the Wholesaling Quick Start Challenge, right? Our goal is to help 100 wholesalers hit 100,000. Oh, hold on one second. Can you guys see me? Am I still here? Okay, just making sure I'm still here, y'all. All right, so the Wholesaling Quick Start Challenge, our goal is to help 100 wholesalers hit $100,000 in 12 months or less. I've already done this before. We set the goal before to help 10 people hit 6 figures or more in 12 months or less, and we were able to do it in half the time. And so this time I think that we're ready to be able to help a whole lot more people and bring a whole lot of value to you. So if you think that you're gonna be one of the individuals who can hit 6 figures wholesaling real estate with some motivation and accountability, I want you to put quick start in the comments. Put quick start in the comments. I'm excited to engage with you guys and make this happen. All right, so who's this for? The Quick Start Challenge is for everyone trying to create momentum in their wholesaling business. I've had people in my DM saying, Aaron, I'm not really new. Can I join the Quick Start Challenge? Absolutely. The Quick Start Challenge is to get you guys to take action and do the things necessary to be able to get your business off the ground. All right. And so these are the behaviors, these are the basic rules of the Wholesaling Quick Start Challenge. 30 conversations daily. All right, 30 conversations daily, 5 leads daily. We're gonna go over today how to generate those leads, and 3 to 5 offers daily. All right, these are the behaviors that you can control, guys. So don't get overwhelmed with all these metrics and these big numbers. If you've never hit 6 figures before in your life, this number, right, you know, might sound or look like, it might look, you know, ungodly to you, you know, but these are the behaviors that I want you to focus on during this challenge. I want you to focus on 30 conversations. That's it. Can you do that? Like, can you time block 3 to 4 hours out of your day and say, I'm going to set a quota where I'm not going to get up from this space until I have talked to 30 humans daily? Guys, I'm telling you, we don't have to overcomplicate success. There are very basic behaviors that can get you to 6 figures, and I'm outlining them for you right here. It's conversations daily. Can you do that? If you generate 30 conversations daily, even if you're not a good salesperson, you don't have good breath, you don't like your personality, you're super timid, and any excuse that you can come up, you have a heavy accent, if you can do 30 conversations daily with people at scale, what we found, the average human can generate 5 leads daily. By the way, this is with individuals who understand American vernacular and English. The reason why I say that is because we have seen with some VAs, right? VAs are not able to produce the same as Americans, but I'm not going to get caught in the weeds. The point is that most average human, English-speaking people can do 5 leads a day with 30 conversations. All right. And by the way, what's a lead? What we went over yesterday is a lead is somebody who raises their hand and says, I'm interested in selling my real estate. That's a lead. All right. So out of 5 leads daily, which is, and by the way, we did the numbers based off of the average person who's only going to work 5 days a week. I call that part-time. Right, so I'm making these numbers easy for you guys to be able to digest. I'm not saying you got to work 7 days a week. So if you do 5 leads a day, 20 days a month, which is Monday through Friday, that's 100 leads a month. One thing that we know nationwide, our averages say that 50 leads will generate 1 contract. And so 100 leads a day on average will generate 2 contracts. And we know the average wholesaler is only closing 50% of the deals that they contract. That is across the board. And so that means in order to do 1 deal a month, we need to be contracting at least 2 deals a month. We know that the average deal right now in the United States, including my business and other businesses and high-performing wholesaling business, the average deal is $12,000 big. All right? And that means if you do 1 deal a month, guys, if you do 1 deal a month, at $12,000 deal size average, that's $144,000 a year. And here's what's really exciting about this, y'all. Did you know that as of 2022, according to the Department of Labor, if you generate in the United States of America $140,000, you are in the top 10% income earners in the country. And I am showing you right here, we are showing you right here today, the formula on how to generate enough income to be in the top 10% earners. And by the way, before we keep moving, a lot of people will say, Aaron, this can't be real. You mean to tell me 30 conversations a day? Aaron, you mean to tell me 5 leads a day will do that for me? Yes. Yes, 100%. Do you know why most people won't see the fulfillment, the realization of this? Because they just won't stay consistent. They think that you have to go in and conquer the world in one day when the reality is it's these basic items. All right, so with that said, let's hop into what we're going to be talking about today. This is a recap of what we're doing. This is the Wholesaling Quick Start Challenge. This is a little bit about our vision. Will we be able to help some of you hit $100,000 in this next week? Probably not, but I wanted to share with you our vision. That way you can be a part of this long term, all right? So with that said, let's talk a little bit about today's agenda. By the end of this training, you will know what list you should choose, you will know what marketing channel you should choose, and you will have a formula for offers. All right, by the way, y'all, stay tuned, stay live, keep engaging with us, because I got a special guest I'm going to be bringing on the show. I'm trying to get through this meat and potatoes value, that way we can answer as many questions as possible, bring on our guest for somebody I'm very excited about, and so I need for you guys to make sure that you stay here with me for the next few minutes. By the way, all of you who are in the comment section showing love, shout out to everybody in here. I love it. All right, so let's hop into the meat and potatoes, baby. Let's start with the list. I'm going to blitz through this information. Guys, screenshot this. And if you miss it, go back and watch it on the replay. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure to hashtag replay. That way we can show you some love. All right, hold your questions to the end, y'all, because we are going to have time for Q&A. What lists should I start with? I have 3 main lists here because I want you guys to focus on taking action and making sure that every hour you spend in the business is going to help you get to your deal as fast as possible. So the first list that I'm recommending is Driving for Dollars. All right, this is the highest quality list, and it's the best performing list you can get your hands on. Guys, to this day, there is not a list I have seen that generates as consistently and highly as D for D. By the way, it's not for the weak. All right, Joshua Weezer says, Aaron, will this be on YouTube later? Yes, it will. It's on YouTube now, but it will be on YouTube later, yes. All right. What do I mean when I say that to this day I haven't seen a list that generates as consistently and as highly? Here's what I mean by consistently. Consistently, I mean that there's a formula where legitimate, like 1 out of 100 Driving for Dollars parcels of data will be a contract. I've never seen anything like that anywhere else. Like where else can you can pull a list where at scale 1 out of every 100 parcels of data you're getting a contract. That's your Driving for Dollars list. Why is Driving for Dollars such a valuable list? Well, because there's nobody else in your market with your specific list. You know, and so, but it's not for the weak. You got to go out and get it. Now, where do you get your Driving for Dollars list? There's 2 ways you can do it. The first place you can get your Driving for Dollars list is by going out and driving for dollars in your whip, paying the gas, right? You can use Deal Machine, or you can use what I like to use, which is batch-driven app. And batch-driven app, the reason why I like it is because you don't need to actually go out and drive for dollars. What you can do is you can drive for dollars virtually. You can skip trace them as soon as you add the leads in there, and then you can reach out to them right away. Like, there's no excuse not to be doing. Like, there's no excuse. Guys, if I lost all of my money and I lost all of my credibility and my wife left me and my face was mutilated and burned and I needed to make 6 figures in the next 6 weeks, in the next like 3 months, I would get batch-driven app. I would drive for dollars virtually because I probably couldn't drive if I lost everything. Hopefully I have a laptop. I would drive virtually with my laptop, and I would literally text people from the Driving for Dollars app virtually. The highest quality, guys. There's no reason why we should be broke in 2022. I'm telling you, it's too crazy. The next list is called a niche list. This is basically a motivated list. Vacant high equity list is where I want you guys to start in this challenge. Or a foreclosure list, or a probate list, or a code violation. Why do I, guys? And this is not an exhaustive list of lists. This is just, I'm just answering the question, where do I want you to start? I want you to start where your hour spent is going to have the deepest impact, and that's going to be with Driving for Dollars lists or these niche lists. Anybody who tells you anything different, they're wrong, okay? Tell them to come meet me and I will fight them. Start here, guys. All right. And then here's the third place I want you to start. What if you're broke? I have had people reach out to me and say, Aaron, I have no money. I have nothing. Please help me. And this is what I would say. I would say, then you better start shaking hands and kissing babies and getting to know the community, getting involved with people, getting engaged with people. And watch this. You can generate deals from people in your area by getting some business cards. And by the way, if you don't have business cards, get some sticky notes and write your name and number on them. I am not even kidding. And here's what you do. You start having a meeting every week. There is magic in networking and masterminding. If I didn't have any money or any resources, I would start having a meeting every single week. I would reach out to people and say, hey, can we go get coffee? I don't have any money to buy you any coffee, but can we meet there and talk about business? If you do that once a week, guys, you will, by proximity, come across a deal. All right, everybody understand what list they should be starting with? Okay, the second thing we're going to get into, now that you determined what list you're going to be starting with, is what's my marketing channel. All right, guys, again, this is not exhaustive. This is for people who need to get momentum. I want you starting with outbound. If you need to get momentum, I want you starting with outbound. And here's why. Because you probably have a little bit more time than you have money. And one of the greatest skill sets that will serve you in this business is your ability to engage with people and have quality conversations with people. All right, so I'm not going to talk to you about I'm not going to talk to you about PPC. I'm not going to talk to you about SEO right now. I'm not going to talk to you about radio ads right now. I'm not going to talk to you about billboards right now. I'm not going to talk to you about mailers. I'm talking to you about outbound only. Okay, so for cold calling, you can do this yourself, or you can hire VAs to do this. How do you know if you're ready for a VA? You're ready. You know you're ready for a VA if you have at least 3 months worth of your VA's campaign in reserves. Very simple, guys. Don't overthink this. If you don't have 3 months of your VA's payroll and campaign in reserves, don't even think about it. Okay? All right. So if you don't have that money, guess what? Then you need to be doing this yourself. And so here's 4 quick nuggets on how to make a success out of cold calling. Number 1, set the time block for your calling hours and be ritualistic about it. I mean, you got to make this religion. I mean, if you're supposed to be 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. calling, then at 3:59 you're sitting down and getting ready to dial. Some people might say, Aaron, you're a hypocrite. You're always late to meetings, but I'll tell you one thing: I'm not late for dinner, and I'm not late for my time blocks when it comes to get stuff done. And that's why I am where I am, and I continue to progress, y'all, because I'm ritualistic about this stuff. And you ask anybody who's successful, they will tell you the same thing. They are ritualistic about their time blocks. Okay, the second thing is stand up and walk around for the first 10 minutes of calling. Guys, emotion is energy in motion. So if you're cold calling like this, pretty soon you're gonna start talking like this, and before you know it, your whole attitude is gonna be like, "Who cares?" You know what I mean? But if you want to have energy, stand up, right? Use your hands, pace back and forth, and be in motion, right? And that'll create more energy and it'll create emotion. That way you can actually be somebody enjoyable to talk to on the phone. All right. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I hope y'all can. All right. Tip number 3. Am I frozen? I think I'm frozen. Oh man, all right, I'm back. I'm back on. Man, somebody said Aaron got that Spectrum internet. That's awesome. Okay, so real quick before I'm gonna reshare the screen. Someone Benita has said just locked up a 5 unit sight unseen, baby. Let's go, Big Daddy. They said we back, we in here. All right, I love it. Dang, y'all are crazy. We still got 33 people on here live who are just chilling. Shout out to the Facebook. John, shout out to all the loyal ones. All right, cool. So guys, let me do this. I'm gonna pull up the slide that I was on. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to address some of these comments that are in here. Actually, let me do this. I have a special guest in the back. While I pull up this my slides for you guys, because I prepared this over. Let me bring my guy on really quick, and let's chop a little bit. Christian, what's going on, my guy?
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, man. How are you?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. So real quick, a lot of nobody has seen us like live together, even though we're in the background building something great, Christian.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
y'all have a pretty cool story about what you and Liz, your wife, have done. I love the way y'all operate because I call y'all like the lifestyle entrepreneurs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really cool. But do you want to give the people a little background on how y'all got started in the business and what y'all got going on right now?
Yeah, man. Honestly, back in 2021, January 2021, I was like, all right, I got to change something. I got to do something here. All of 2020, you could ask Liz if you guys want to reach out to her and ask her, fact check me, go ahead. I was nuts. I was driving myself crazy. I was like, I got to find something to just increase my income, just change my lifestyle, and do whatever it takes to get there. And so in 2021, I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going all in. I wanted to get into real estate. I want to get into wholesaling. And so I went ahead. I just did what everybody else, at the time was doing. I just went all in. I got a course. I found a coach and I've unplugged for 6 months, guys. I put my head down
Ooh,
6 months. My family might hate me a little bit because I didn't talk to my family. I didn't talk to my friends. I just went all in. I just disappeared, went ghost for 6 months. And
mm,
Liz and I, we've just been wholesaling since January of last year. We were learning for a few months, but it honestly was a pretty quick turnaround for us. It's not the success story that everyone has, and that's totally fine. But we were blessed and able to have a pretty quick turnaround. So we got into wholesaling last year, and we've been able to successfully have six-figure wholesale business. And now we're looking to actually buy some property now and just kind of take off from there. So yeah, man, that's the story.
I love it. I love it. How long did it take for you to get your first deal, by the way?
From marketing, the first marketing I did to close, I would say within 2 months. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Y'all are
Yeah, man.
go-getters, man. Y'all are
Hey,
real
look,
go-getters.
I, I came from sales, man. So I understood like it got to be high energy. So I understood that.
Mm.
And I was blessed to be able to have that kind of mentality to it. But listen, it's crazy jumping into a whole new industry you didn't even know like anything about learning and doing. It definitely was challenging at times. I'll tell you that. It still
100%,
is.
100%. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna get more into getting to know a little bit more about Christian in just a sec, y'all. I want to go over some of the other basic items that we were discussing real quick before we got some technical difficulties. And then we're gonna open it up for questions from me and Christian to be able to answer with y'all. So I'm gonna share the screen again, y'all, and let's hop in this. I know that where we left off was with, I want to say we were talking about marketing. So, well, let's do this really quick. All right, we were going over in regards to cold calling, how to make a success out of cold calling, y'all. So some of these tips that we had given were, number one, make sure that you set a time block for your calling hours and be ritualistic about it. The second thing was stand up and walk around for the first 10 minutes of calling. If you need more, do more. The third thing is set a call quota that you must hit before you end the session. This is so incredible the way this works, y'all. So for example, if you set the goal of no matter how many dials I do, no matter how many abandons I get or whatever, I'm not going to get up from this space until I've had 30 conversations in this time block. You know, and depending on the list, this could be anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, right? But I'm telling you, having a goal, a quota like this is going to keep you accountable to the behaviors necessary to be successful, y'all. And then I recommend for one-man calling teams, mojosells.com. I don't have an affiliate with these guys. This is just who I personally use. And you might hear me switch this up. I'm not really particular. I don't care what tool you use as long as you have one, right? Just like some people say, I don't care what gun you hunt with as long as you have one whenever it's time to hunt,
Yo,
right?
Aaron, can I cut
Talk
in
to
for
me.
a sec, man? Look,
Please, please.
guys, whoever's watching right now, you have to understand what Aaron is sharing with you is literally months and months and months of experience. I told you guys this moments ago, I did a sales job. It took me almost 8 months to understand those 3 bullet points that he just shared with you. Seriously, it almost took me like 8 to 9 months of just doing cold calls every single day, just to understand that you have to have, that time block. You have to be real ritualistic. You have to get up and walk around. Smiling on the phone is like super important, because if you're slouching back and you're just chilling, like, you're not gonna, portray what you want on the phone, right? So listen to what Aaron's got to say. He's nothing but just gold right now.
Facts, bro. No, thank you for kicking in and validating that, man, because you know from the trenches, right, that these little nuggets right here can help somebody take it to the next level. Here's some tips with SMS marketing, y'all. I'm not going to get too heavy into it, but just like cold calling, you can have VAs do this for you as well, okay? But if you're doing it for yourself, I normally recommend getting started with 500 messages a day average, right? Take a look at whoever your platform is that you're using, so that you know how much you're spending per message. That way you can budget it out. But if you do 500 a day, I find that this is a couple hours of work. You know what I mean? You're going to send 500 out. You're going to get a whole bunch within the first 30 minutes. And then there's going to be people that respond and drip over the day. So following up with the messages, reaching out to the individuals who ask you to call them later, having conversations between all of that. 500 takes the normal person about, a good solid time block. By the way, guys, remember that what I'm talking about here is consistent behaviors over weeks and months. That's how to score big in this business. So you might think, Aaron, nah, this is not enough, man. I need to be doing 2,000 a day, bro. I'm telling you, that's not sustainable for a lot of people, right? I want you to start taking action and being consistent. Here's the next little tip with SMS marketing. Get the sellers on the phone as soon as possible. I've had situations, bro, where I have closed and funded the deal and never even talked to the seller on the phone. It was just SMS. Not even kidding. And so, do your best to get them on the phone, y'all. But some people will not talk to you on the phone. So if possible, right? But if it's possible to get them on the phone, get them on the phone as quickly as possible, because that phone conversation, you can turn around a contract very, very fast. All right, next tidbit here with SMS marketing is don't overwhelm yourself. Chip away and clear your queue. And that's what I was just talking about, which is don't feel like just because if you have the budget for it, or just because you can, that you should throw out, 1,000 or 2,000 messages. if you overwhelm yourself, what's going to happen is you're going to get all these messages back, and you're going to end up not following up with the people that you've already reached out to, and you're going to start missing opportunities. All right. Who do I recommend for SMS marketing? TheSmarterContact.com, because this is who we use, and they are an incredibly intuitive and efficient SMS marketing campaign. But if you don't, and you come to me and you ask for my mentorship, and you say, Aaron, I didn't use The Smarter Contact, and don't apologize. It's okay. I don't care who you use. I'm just recommending who we use. All right. So with that said, y'all, our last little tidbit here in terms of nuggets. By the way, we're back up to 45 people live on all platforms. Those of you,
Let's go.
shout out to you guys for coming here, despite the technical difficulties. We love you guys. All right. With that said, Wholesaling Quick Start Challenge. We need to go over this today, how to make strong offers. And I know I only have a few minutes left with you guys before we do Q&A with me and Christian. So I was like, how in the world do I teach comping and rehab estimates in less than a few minutes? But by golly, we're going to do it, and we're going to do it well. All right. Shout out to LL Cool J, doing it and doing it and doing it well, fam. All right, so here's what we're going to go over with how to make strong offers. We're going to go over how to find the ARV, how to determine your MAO, which is your maximum allowable offer, y'all, and how I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. We're going to go over how to get your ARV, how to estimate rehabs, all right, and we're going to go over how to determine your MAO, okay? So let's talk about finding your ARV. I'm going to be really quick with this, and some people are really going to get mad at me with how I'm teaching people to do this, because they're going to be like, Aaron, you're being too formulaic and da 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 da. Listen, we have taught dozens and dozens of people to hit over 6 figures, and this works. All right, so we're going to continue to use what works, because it does. All right, so here's how to find ARV in 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. All right, this is your dirty ARV. Ooh, I should switch that and call this the dirty ARV. This is the lowdown dirty ARV. You're going to start, guys, with due diligence, and that sounds extensive. It's not. You just want to look at 5 things: square footage, bed bath count, year built, lot size, and neighborhood. Now, what you're going to do for square footage, oh snap, am I losing y'all? Am I losing y'all? All right. For square footage, we need to be within 200 square foot to call it a comp. Okay? Anything outside of 200 square foot, give or take, plus or minus, is not a comp. And if it's not a comp, all that means, guys, is that we will have to factor in for that in our ARV. For those of you that don't know, ARV means after repair value. This is what the property will be valued at after it's fixed up. Okay, so for square footage, we need to be within 200 square feet. All right, we want the same bed bath count. We want the same bed bath count. That means if I'm looking for a property just like mine that I'm gonna use as a comparable, all right, I want a property that has the same bed bath count. And when it doesn't, I have to make up for that in the price. All right. The third area is the year built. We want all the properties within 5 years built. By the way, guys, I am not coming up with any of these things. We got these from appraisers. This is what appraisers use to come up with an appraisal for the property. They're going to look at these big 5 items. So I'm showing you to look at what the appraisers are going to look at, and they determine what people can buy and sell for, and that's who we need to be building our comps based off of, all right? So if your house was built in 1990, then then you need to be within 5 years. That means you can comp all the properties that were built between 1985 and 1995. Those are all of the properties that you can comp. And if you cannot find a property within 5 years built, then you got to make up for it in price. All right. The fourth area that you want to comp for is lot size. Guys, I've seen people make this mistake all the time. Aaron, it's the same square footage. Aaron, it's the same bed bath count. Aaron, it was built the same year. It's a comp. No, your lot size is 4,000 and your comp's lot size is 3 acres. So what that property sold for is not a comparable with you. Guys, these are the top 5. Does that make sense? Like, I know, like, this hurts a lot of wholesalers because it's like, sometimes you needed that comp to make it a deal. But you need to think about this the way your appraiser is going to think about it, because that's how your buyer is going to think about it. All right. And the fifth and final basic 5 item that you want to comp is the lot. Wait. Well, oh wait. Oh yeah, I already. Oh, my bad. The fifth and final one is the neighborhood. Guys, we have to stay in the same subdivision or neighborhood. If the comparable is in a similar area, you haven't crossed main streets, but it is in a different subdivision, you cannot use that as a comp, guys. I repeat, if the property is that you're comparing is not in the same subdivision, it might look, Aaron, I could spit and land on that property, but it's in a different subdivision. You're not going to be able to comp it. Now, will you be able to use it in terms of a reference? You might be able to, but your appraiser is not going to use that comp because it's a different neighborhood. I see this all the time. All right. So then what do we do when there's no exact comp? Well, you're going to use your appraisal rules and think like an investor. And basically what that means is you're going to have to use some discernment. But I want you to think about it this way, guys. Whenever you're finding the ARV and you're looking for a comp, I want you to think about it like this. Imagine that you have to present a court case to a jury and prove to them what the ARV is. And you have to provide multiple lines of evidence that show why your property should be valued at what it is. And your jury is your buyer. And that case is your sales pitch. You need to be able to say, I know this property that I'm comping doesn't meet in the square footage, but here's why I'm using it. And then you have to be able to justify the bed bath count. You need to be able to justify the years built. You need to be able to justify your lot size, and you need to be able to justify based on your subdivision why your property is valued at the way it is. When you learn to do this, guys, I'm telling you, you are always going to comp your properties in the proper way. You don't have to overcomplicate this. Just do what I'm telling you to do here. All right. All right. You also want to search for properties when you're finding an ARV that you could turn yours into. Right? So that means, Aaron, if it's the same square footage, it's the same bed bath count, it's the same year built, it's the same lot size, it's the same neighborhood, but that one's a mobile home and yours is a site-built house, it is not a comp. You cannot turn your house into that, and vice versa. Right? So this is going to give us properties potential value after being repaired, as nice as or better than the comparable properties. All right. We only want to look for sold and pending properties. Real quick, I know I talk too much and I'm here like way longer than we need to be. I always do this, guys, but I just have to share this. Many gurus out there are saying, don't look at pending properties, only look at sold properties. Guys, in today's market, you must look at pending solds. The reason why is because you might have 10 properties that sold in the last 6 months, okay? You might have 10 properties that sold in the last 6 months in that subdivision, but where they sold 5 months ago ain't where they're gonna sell now. So you gotta look at the pendings right now, because if you see that the same comparable properties are now pending for $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 less, That's telling you the market is dipping and dropping and correcting. You cannot call 6 months ago ARV the same ARV. You're going to be locked in a contract that you can't sell, guys. Stop listening. I mean, I shouldn't say stop listening, but be careful who you're listening to it when in regards to advice. Guys, use sold and pending comps for your ARVs. And then from all this information that we've just digested together, you're going to determine your number. You're going to get an average based on the most fixed up comparable properties. All right. Does that make sense to everybody in here? If so, let me know. If not, ask questions. All right. Man, shout out to everybody engaging. I love it. Shout out to everybody. Ryan Harrington says, does PropStream show pendings? Yes, PropStream does show pendings. It does show pendings. All right. So now I'm going to get into with y'all really quick. I'm just going to real quick how to estimate rehab costs. Guys, here's how to estimate rehab costs in 30 seconds. Okay. You don't need to walk a property. You can do this in 30 seconds, guys. For those of you who are telling people who you get on the phone, I'm going to call you back as soon as I have a number. Do you know how much money you're leaving on the table? Keep the people on the phone. Run the script that I showed you guys yesterday, right? And make the offers on the phone, guys. So many people leave money on the table by saying, I'm going to call you back. And then whenever they call the person back, they can't get the person on the phone. And then another person does. I do. And I lock them up and get them sold. And then you never see any of that equity. All right. So you got to start running this stuff more formulaic. All right. So estimating rehab costs, formulate for efficiency. So these are rough numbers based on our current market. And it's designed to get you within the door to see if the seller is even worth your time. You are busy. And you need to be spending your time with people who are even within your ballpark. That means you need to start shooting out offers and obviously you want educated offers, so that's what this is for. Okay, so watch this, guys. Cosmetic Rehab, roughly you can sell that contract at 62% of the ARV. So I showed you how to get the ARV. If it's a cosmetic rehab in just about every market, as long as your ARV is good, this is going to get you in the door. You can sell that contract at 62% of ARV. What does that mean for new wholesalers and those of you who are not as savvy? What that means is cosmetic rehab is the ARV, the seller's profit, the buyer's profit, and the rehab is built in. You still need to factor in your profit. You can sell this contract at 62% of ARV. So let's run some numbers on this so you guys understand what this means. This means the ARV is 100,000, but this is a cosmetic property. I already know right off the bat, boom, I can sell this contract for 62. I'm offering 50. That's my MAO is 50. I'm going to try to see if I can anchor at 40. See if I can wiggle and get them to 45. You know what I mean? And then hopefully I'll be landing somewhere around 50 or you guys understand what we're saying here? I can already tell somebody's gonna be asking, Aaron, what's a cosmetic rehab? A cosmetic rehab means I'm not touching any of the major 5. I'm not touching a roof. I'm not touching a foundation. I'm not touching electric. I'm not touching plumbing. I'm not touching HVAC. Cosmetic. That's cosmetic. Then we have full gut. A full gut means we can buy 45% of ARV. What's a full gut? A full gut means that we're going to have to get inside of the property for electrical, for plumbing. We may need a roof or you know what I mean, or foundation. All right. If we need 2 to 3 out of all of the structural, we'll call that a full gut. We can buy a full gut at 45% of ARV. So that means if the ARV is $100,000 on a full gut, I can offer $45,000. I'm sorry. That means I can sell the contract at $45,000, which means that my offer is I want my offer around $30,000 so I can make a $15,000 assignment fee. Okay, if it's a structural reno, this means I'm going to need all of my big ticket items: roof, foundation, electric, plumbing, HVAC, and cosmetic. Structural renovation, we can sell that contract at 20 to 35% of ARV depending on the market. And that means that depending on the market, but if this was a San Antonio, I'd probably need this property at about 25% of ARV. So that's $25,000 is what I can sell it for. I'd be offering like $10,000 to $15,000, so I can walk away with a little base hit. So I can walk away with 10K. Okay. Guys, this is how to be able to estimate your rehab costs within 30 seconds. I already know I'm going to have like super savvy builders and developers in here questioning my numbers, saying, well, technically the cost of screws just whatever. This works, guys. Use it and make a whole lot of money and look like a boss being able to estimate your rehab costs very, very quickly. Guys, I'm not going to lead you astray. You can use this successfully, trust me. All right, and then here are just some side notes for you. In regards to cosmetic rehab, just call a cosmetic rehab, all in all, cosmetic rehab, just call it a $40 a square foot if you want to run it that way. Remember what cosmetic is, guys. That means you're not touching any of your big five. You're not touching your roof, not touching your foundation, you're not touching electrical, plumbing, or HVAC. It's only cosmetic. That's $40 a square foot. All right, and then full gut, you call that anywhere from $60 to $65 a square foot. Okay, call your structural reno $75 a square foot. All right, and call any additions about $125 a square foot. All right, these numbers will get you in the door and allow you to be able to wholesale your deals with ease in just about every single market. All right, we have students in our community all over the United States using this formula very, very successfully, and we love to see it. All right, so with that said, today let's just recap this. I know we covered so much info, y'all. I know some of you, your brain is probably oozing. But if you need any of this information, just DM me and I'll send it over to you. But I hope you screenshotted and took a bunch of notes. Let's just recap what we went over. All right, let's just recap this really, really quick. All right, what we reviewed today was what list to start with, right? And what we went over was the driving for dollars list, motivated list. You can get all of those in PropStream, right? The motivated lists are vacant high equity list, foreclosure list, probate list, code violation list. You can get these in PropStream and from your local city appraisal district. All right. We also said for those of you who don't have any money at all and you're really just scratching and clawing and all you got is hunger, hope, and a little bit of time, you can start having meetings. Start reaching out to people and say, hey, let's meet up and let's mastermind about business. How can I serve you? Start getting involved in your community and start finding people who have deals and connecting them with buyers and making money. I'm telling you, this is the fastest way to start making a whole lot of money wholesaling real estate. The next thing we went over is how should I start doing marketing? We went over 2 ways to start marketing, cold calling or SMS, because those are the fastest way to get in contact with sellers, start having conversations and getting contracts now, guys. If you can start getting contracts now, you can start making money right away. The implications of this are insane. Remember what we said, the goal is 1 deal a month. If you can do 1 deal a month, guys, that's $12,000 a month. Times 12, that's $144,000 a year. The top 10% earners in the United States of America are making $140,000 a year. Guys, I'm showing you the formula. We are showing you the formula. We're leading you in the way to be in the top 10% income earners. And so with that said, we also went over how to find the ARV. We went over how to determine your maximum allowable offer and how to estimate rehab costs. So guys, we're here for a few more minutes. Me and Christian, what questions do y'all have? Throw some questions in there in the comment section. What questions do y'all have about getting started? And my man, Mr. Bailey said, dirty ARV.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love that you guys are connecting in the chat. I love it. I love it. Gallo says, who's in North Carolina or Georgia? Beth says, I'm in North Carolina. Ooh, Tasha. Boom, let's go. I love it. All right. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. All right. So Hillary says, can I get that script, please? Yes, you can. If you guys still need the script, DM me and I will send it over to you. We went on a rampage today, sending the script to everybody who joined in the campaign. Hillary says, what do you do when nobody is answering the phone? Keep calling the list. This is a good question. This is a good question from somebody who's just starting. Let's say they're calling, let's say they're dialing themselves and nobody's answering the phone. What would you do? What advice would you have as a coach, somebody who's found success yourself, Christian, and you have a student that comes to you and says, dude, I'm feeling discouraged. What do I do?
So first and foremost, some people might not agree with this tactic, but I'm all about the double tap. I call people twice every single time. If I'm trying to get them, I'll call them twice. Does it add more time to your day? Sure, it might. But if you're really motivated and you really want to get that lead, you call them twice. Why? Because people don't always answer the phone the first time if they don't see a recognized number. Do you know how many times I've gotten the seller on the phone the second call I've made? Not the first, the second call. But what happens if you don't get them on the phone in general, just overall? Yeah, definitely keep calling that list. You want to recycle that list as many times as you possibly can until you get a yes or a no. You don't want to leave it unanswered. You want to get a yes or a no.
I love that, man. That's powerful advice. So Hillary, if it's a warm list, we do the same thing that Christian does. We do the double tap. So what I mean by a warm list is if it's a lead that has come in, so it's already been qualified and it's a lead, we will call that lead, but we know that this is the first time that the acquisition person is calling. Their instructions are if that person doesn't answer, you immediately call them back because most robo-dialers don't call back the second time, right, Christian?
Yeah, man.
So double tap. Now, but I love that you also address this, Christian, on a macro level. What if they're just dialing? What if you got a dialer? You purchased a list, you got a triple line dialer, and you've been calling for an hour and you're not getting any dials. What would you do on that side? And you're saying, Christian, would you just power through?
Yeah, man. I mean, definitely you want to recycle your list. You don't want to waste that money that you've invested into your own business. I mean, recycle the list as you possibly can. If you're not getting a hold of these people, call them until you do. And if the number is unavailable or whatever, and it's a wrong number, that's when you can obviously, figure out how to take that out of your list. But I mean, yeah, if you're getting the correct number and they're just not answering, yeah, of course, you're going to want to keep calling them until they do.
Yeah, I say the same thing. Hillary, I'll also say this. If you find that you've been calling in your time block for an hour and a half, and you're not getting anything, I have recommended to my acquisition people, if you have enough list, you can let that list marinate.
Yeah.
And go to a different list.
That's a really good fact too, right there.
Have you done that? Christian?
Yeah, of course, man. It's one of those things where you remember what you talked about earlier when you have to stand up and you got to walk around during your call sessions. It's the same thing with your lists. If that list is not working right then and there, and you need to refresh it, and you need to rejuvenize everything right now, go to another list, give that a shot. And if that, starts to take some traction, then boom, there you go. And if not, go to the next one and then keep recycling.
100%. So Hillary, stay with it, stay focused, stay consistent. And Hillary, remember this, that this is a daily journey. There will be moments in this. Sometimes it's an hour by hour journey. It may feel like you're not getting anywhere, but you got to show up the next day and the next day and the next day. And what will happen is over time, a ratio will start to appear. And I want you focusing, Hillary, I want you focusing on how many leads you can generate daily. Because if you're focused on just the moment to moment, it's going to feel like maybe it's just dragging on. But
Right.
also, I like what Angela says. See, this is why a community is so necessary. Angela says, Hillary, check your own phone numbers to make sure they aren't marked as spam. This is also a good, this is
Look, I
why
love this.
networking and masterminding is so important. Angie, thank you for bringing this out. This is also good. Take a look at a couple things. Take a look at your numbers. Make sure that you're not showing up as spam.
Oh yeah.
Hillary, the next thing I would say is there's the numbers, recycling the numbers, and then also your skip tracing. You know what I mean? Make sure that you're getting your skip tracing from a reputable source, and not just some fly-by-night person who is going to not lead you in the right direction.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you see your connect rate go down significantly, your numbers are more than likely marked as spam. People are not going to answer that. So that's definitely good advice right there, Angela.
I love it. And then Beth Radigan says, can we stack the list and what is the cost? Yes, absolutely. You can stack your list. In fact, I recommend stacking your list. This is why you shouldn't ever discard your data. Never throw away your data, guys. Whoever has the most data wins, right? And so with that said, you should always be stacking your data. An organic way that I have stacked my data is with batchleads.io, guys. This has just allowed me, I pull all my data and I pull it right there, and then it's automatically stacked for me. Yeah. Another resource for you if you want to stack all of your data and house all of your data and have it organized, guys, is REI Sift. That's another incredible resource for stacking your data. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna show people this really quick. Let me just share the screen really quick, and then while I'm sharing this really quick to answer that question, if you have any closing remarks for people in this challenge, Christian, have that ready. But let me share my screen really quick to answer this question about stacking data, and hopefully this helps somebody. All right, let me share this one time on them. So, guys,
we got Hillary real quick. She actually asked, what does stack mean?
Oh, stack basically means, Hillary, it means when a seller shows up on multiple lists. So let's say you have a probate list, let's say you have a code violation list, let's say you have a vacant list, and let's say you have a pre-foreclosure list. Well, what if that list, what if somebody showed up on all 4 lists, Hillary? If they showed up on all 4 lists, that's the first person that I want to call, man. Like, I want to be in front of that person, right? Because they have talk about motivation, right? They have the highest propensity to be able they have the highest propensity to say yes to a wholesale offer. So let me show you this let me show you this right now, Hillary, in my business. This is one of my dashboards. And so as you can see in my dashboard, I have 138,551 skip traced parcels of data. Okay? So when I'm recycling that data, what I want to look at is how many of my parcels of data are on multiple of my parcels of data are on multiple lists. So as you can see here, I have, out of my 138,000, I have 103 that are on 1 list. I have 9,800 on 2 lists. I have 56,000 parcels of data in 56,000 in 3 lists. Side note, why am I calling these parcels of data and not leads? Because they only become leads, data becomes leads whenever they say, yes, I'm interested in selling. I hate it when people say, I have 56,000 leads. No, you don't. If you had 56,000 leads, you'd be so rich right now. All right. But check this out, y'all. I have 30,000 on 4 lists. So let me fast forward. I have 4,115 parcels of data in 6 lists. So that means I can click on this, I can filter all of those leads, I can gather them, and then I can run a quick campaign on them. All right, guys, this is powerful. Use this. This is called batchleads.io. Batchleads.io. It helps you organize. By the way, another thing that it does is it helps you to see how many of the people in your campaign have opted out of, how many of the people on your list have opted out of campaigns. They're on the do not call list. How many of them are vacant? All right. And it lets you know how many total properties you have in your database. All right, so I mean, this is incredible stuff, guys, because this allows you to be organized with all of your data, and your data is the beginning of your business. All right, so I hope that this benefits somebody. And with that said, somebody asked a really good question, Christian. They said, "What's your morning routine like, and what affirmations do you say to yourself to have a massive productive day?" I'll let you start on this one, Christian. Do you have a morning routine?
Honestly, the best morning routine that I've ever had, they fluctuate from time to time. I will be honest with you. As an entrepreneur, sometimes you get knocked off and you got to just refigure out what your morning routine is. But the best one that I've ever had, I would wake up super early, about maybe like 6, 7 o'clock. And some people are like waking up at 3 in the morning, and that's just great to me. I'm not a morning guy, so that's crazy to me. But I wake up at 6, 7 o'clock and I journal. The first thing I would do was journal. I would journal my targets, my goals. What am I trying to accomplish in that day, in that week, in that month, in the quarter, right? That was number one thing I would do. After that, I actually did affirmations, just like you said. I'd try to come up with 10 different affirmations. An example of something would be like, I am successful. I would always start with I am, and then fill it in with something different. And these are the things that I know I will become, right? I'm speaking in a present tense as I am. Or you say I will, but I always like to say I am successful. I am a real estate investor, et cetera, right? These are things that would help me get motivated, help prepare myself for what I'm actually becoming, right? And that is honestly as simple as I can break it down. After that, this was actually when I was doing 9 to 5 before I quit my 9 to 5 and became a full-time wholesaler. That's when I was doing it. And it got me to that point. One of my affirmations was, I am a full-time wholesaler. Right. And boom, I was able to become that. But that's something I would do. After that, I would go to work, and then I would work out right after, and then I would get to my business. So that would be basically what my day would look like.
I love it, man. I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. And guys, that I'm imagining that's the routine that you would do your best to keep whenever you hit your first 6 figures wholesaling real estate, right?
Oh, yeah.
Guys, I'm telling you, there's a correlation between your morning routine and your level of success. So for me, Facebook user, whoever you are, my morning routine looks like waking up. By the way, this is my anchor in life. If I do this this is what I call my anchor routine, which means if I get this goal done, the rest of my life happens successfully, within 70 to 75%, right? And that is, I got to wake up at 5 a.m. If I wake up at 5 a.m., then the rest of my day is going to be freaking amazing. I'm going to have good stuff happen. I'm going to have bad stuff happen. I'm going to have tragedies happen. I'm going to have crises happen. But I control my day because I wake up at 5 a.m. And what my morning routine looks like is I read something spiritually minded from the first few minutes of my day. I want to vibrate at the highest possible frequency, and the highest frequency known is with that of the Creator. And I'm not trying to preach to people, but that's the first thing that I do. Something spiritual, something based on biblical text, and I meditate on it. Full transparency, I do it on the toilet. That's what I do. That's my first 10 to 15 minutes of the day.
Love you,
is on the toilet reading a scripture. It's called my daily text. I read it every single morning for the first 15 to 20 minutes. And then after that, I get up. I have a tall glass of. I have 2 glasses of water. That's my routine. 2 glasses of water back to back. Open up my body. Get the water flowing. Go get my workout in real quick. Come back. Have a cup of coffee because I'm doing intermittent fasting now, and so I had no breakfast, only coffee. And then I will read my affirmations. The person wants to know the affirmations. I will read them to you. These are my affirmations. My affirmations say this: I believe I can do anything I put my mind to. I am unstoppable and courageous in the face of obstacles and challenges. I'm self-confident because I love myself. My business generates $250,000 every month by providing wonderful service. My company runs without me and sells for $100 million. My life is fresh and exciting. I'm happy to be alive and grateful for all the blessings I enjoy daily. I'm diligently focused. I'm serious, enthusiastic, and powerful in my ability to affect and impact people for the best. Success flows to me in waves from all directions constantly. I read that every single morning, and I do it religiously. I never miss. Oh, well, I shouldn't say I never miss. The days I miss suck, and the days that I make it are just absolutely amazing. And I haven't missed in a little while, and I'm trying to keep that as best as possible. So that's what I do to be able to have as massively productive a day as humanly possible. Facebook user. So yeah, I love that question. Good questions, by the way, y'all.
Question. That's an awesome question. Also, shout out to the 5 a.m. club. More power to you guys. I love that.
I think it's very. Shout out Liz, who says power statements. I am facts. Yes, I am is one of the most powerful statements that you can make to yourself, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love it. Christian, we've been on here entirely too long, but you're just a super cool dude. You're somebody that a lot of people don't know this. We're actually building a community together. Something we're both very passionate about is helping people. And I love the journey that you and Liz, your amazing wife, are on. And I think that you guys are going to help a lot of people.
Awesome.
I hope to be seen with you live and on platforms and stages a whole lot more in the future.
Yeah.
But with that said, to close out, what words of advice do you have for new entrepreneurs that are just starting their journey, or just really starting to see breakthroughs and gain momentum in business?
Absolutely, man. First and foremost, honestly, I appreciate you inviting me on here. I'm really grateful to be here and just share this moment with you. But there's 2 pieces of advice that I could give real quick. And I'm going to keep it super short because I could go on and on and on about this stuff. I love this stuff, but I'm going to keep it short for you guys. Ready? The first thing is eliminate fear. If you can eliminate fear out of your world and work on that, then you will be able to literally overcome and achieve anything you want. Okay. I was always fearful of the unknown. I eliminated fear. I had to work through that though. It took a lot of time for me to work through that. I eliminated fear. I still am eliminating fear from different things, and I'm working on it. If you can do it, you will achieve anything you want. The second thing is take action. They go hand in hand. Okay, because some people are scared. They're fearful of taking action of something that they don't know, or maybe they'll mess it up, or maybe whatever, right? You don't want to make that first call. Eliminate fear, take action. That is as simple as I can make it for you, and you guys will be successful.
Real quick, man. Aaron's famous last words, real quick, before we finish, right? How do I do that? How do I do that? How do I eliminate fear? And I think you gave the formula, in the same breath. But I just want to address it because I know somebody is going to hear this on the replay and ask, how do I do that?
Look, you just do. I mean, when I got into wholesaling, when I first spent, look, guys, I'm newer, right? I've just been in the game for a little bit under 2 years, right? But when I first hired my first coach, when I first got my first course, I had to spend money, right? I had to make an investment. I had to invest in myself. I had never spent that much money in my life. I really was. I had to use a credit card. I was like, what am I doing here? I looked at my wife and I'm like, should I even do this? She was like, go for it. Right. And at that moment, I was like, all right, we're doing this thing. And at the moment I just pulled the trigger just like that, I have not had fear of spending that much money before. And that's just one example. So the moment I make that first phone call, the second one is the best phone call, right? Because you know what to expect at that moment. So just do it and fail forward.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Christian, I can't wait to do this again with you. Guys, remember that in this challenge, I want you guys focusing on the basics, which means 5 leads a day, 30 conversations a day, 5 leads a day, 3 to 5 offers a day. The things that you can control. Those are the 3 things that you can control. Stay with me, stay consistent, and continue to crush it, y'all. I will see you guys here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Till next time.
Close it.
Let's get it.
Pick up the phone. Close it. Big ass scroll. Close it. $1 million deal. Close it. Yeah. It's all on you. Close it. What you gonna do? Close it. I want the proof. Close it. $1 million deal. Close it. Hey.